Marine. The Joe thing was patterned on a Marine Medal of Honor winner, and we all know that Barbie fucks G.I. Joe, not Ken.
Hello, welcome to today's edition of Pegasus Test. On today's edition, we're covering Stage 3 Hardcore Recondo of Finnish Brutality 2023. Now, this is one of those stages you walk up to and it looks deceptively easy. There's two VTACs, there is a small obstacle of pallets between the two VTACs, and just a couple targets downrange. It seems self-explanatory. They give you your stage brief, tell you what you're supposed to do, which is get 2 hits on these ports at the VTAC, cross the obstacle, get 2 hits on the ports on the other VTAC. Really straight freaking forward until the stage brief is over and they go, oh yeah, by the way, you have to wear this rucksack, which is stupidly large, like somebody brought the whole entire packing list kind of level rucksack, and it very much changed the dynamic. Alright, moving on to stage 3 here. This is one where my rig is kind of epitomized. My rig is set up as a patrol rig for being out in the woods and forest and doing extensive patrolling, and it's set up to have a ruck on it, so a lot of people had trouble adjusting to the ruck. This thing was heavy as 40 kilos, about 88 pounds. Definitely helped having a few guys help load you up. That was nice, instead of having to do the lean it against the tree, get into it, and then tree crawl to standing.
Perfect. Okay.
But the rig rode really fine on me. I couldn't complain how that pack was riding. One thing I can complain about here is just being old. That didn't help me out at all. But the other thing that worked for me here was going to a knee. A lot of people did their best to not do that because it was trouble getting up. I just knew it was an accepted fact of life and was just used to it. Now, we had a challenge on this stage. They had a contest. We were supposed to hum the Finnish national anthem. Surprising as Americans, we did not know it. And those who didn't know it and didn't do it correctly had to sing Barbie Girl. Well, as you saw from the little vignette at the beginning, I didn't sing it because, I was exempt from singing Barbie Girl. For the most part, I didn't sing on this stage because, let's be honest, nobody wants to hear that. Even despite the egging on from Vera and Yenu about sounding off, I decided to spare the viewing community from having to hear my baritone voice belting out tunes out of sync. I chose on this stage to run the AUG with the vertical grip folded up. And the reason for that is I've seen several people's AUGs on VTACs put that exposed barrel through, lean it against the side of the VTAC, and get harmonic shift in their point of aim and really die on the VTAC there. So I decided that, since I'll be shoving the barrel through, let's have that vertical grip folded where it can be what's leaning against the barricade and eliminate that problem. And it worked great. And the ergonomics of the rifle were such that it did not cause me any problems. Now, I did have a little malfunction there. Not sure what it was. I'm thinking some crap got in the magazine. That's my guess, because once I got it cleared out and cycling, everything started working real fine. Also, with that crossbar safety, ROs were very concerned about it because this is a stage that it was easy to break the 180, made a very overt show of applying the safety as well. Now, you'll see when Matt's run here, he'll use his magnifier on the stage. I found it was unnecessary and actually a little bit in the way. Having the more variable eye box by moving the magnifier out of the way, I found to be an enhancement and not a detriment. So that's how I chose to run this stage with the optic. Yeah, I just wished I could have been moving a bit faster there, but 88 pounds on your back, in addition to the over 20 pounds of gear that was already on me and stuff, that was a lot. So, and these bones are getting old.
Your time was 175.43.
Go ahead. Who was the idiot brought the whole packing list?
Now for Matt, this is his 8th stage of the day, because in the RO match he had to run all 10 in a day. So he's getting pretty gassed, and then putting 40 kilos, 88 pounds on your back in addition to all your armor gear. He's got about 100 pounds of gear on him right now. So yeah, that's taxing after a long day. But he's pushing out. He actually beat me on this stage, and good on you, Matt. Not having any malfunctions was definitely a help too. His rifle performed pretty good throughout this match, and there's nothing to complain about there.
Don't do that again.
You know, the stage looks deceptively easy. There's only a couple targets downrange, a couple VTACs, a few pallets in the middle. It's when they decided to throw that pack on you that it changed the whole dynamic of this stage. You know, I'm sure there's competitors out there that, had they not have to carry that pack, probably would have been able to leap over those pallets right there in one step. You know, and they would have been running full bore. But this changes how things work. Now, one of the things working against Matt there, if you look at the pack in that view, it's shifting off to one side. A lot of times when you have armor, pack will do that no matter how much you shift it down, because it's not designed to be on your back with armor. So many people say, oh, I'll wear my armor all the time, blah, blah, blah. No, you won't. And this is a case where if you were actually humping a 80-pound ruck out there, you'd probably take your armor off to make it easier. And if you say, no, I got to have it in case enemy contact, be like, if you're carrying a ruck into expected enemy contact, you kind of question what you're doing.
And the last 3. Lion.
Nice. Next one.
And the last one.
Matt, how'd you do?
I did okay. Definitely the weight threw me off. It was a different balance. I'm used to standing in a certain position, and the weight was definitely throwing me off. I think overall I did well. I was slow. Old knees definitely were showing on that stage, but
Oh my gosh, yeah, both of us.
it was a little bit of a slog. But it was overall it was a fun stage.
Yeah, definitely. I've got the same thing to say. It was a fun stage. However, I had a slightly different experience. One, because I was in Breacher Division, and I haven't mentioned this in the other videos, but between each stage we had a task we had to do as Breacher. Now, I'd started out the day by digging a foxhole after stage 1 and doing 5 minutes of push-ups after stage 2. Well, after this stage, we had to do a bunch of other exercises, and at that point, my legs were feeling it. So I was moving at max speed on this stage, I'll freely admit. Now, luckily, again, this is where my gear worked for me. In Matt's case, he's wearing armored, and I put the pack on, and it didn't ride right. And if you pay attention in the video, you can see it's kind of, as the stage goes on, it kind of shifts to one side. My patrol rig I have used since the 1990s, gone many a mile with a ruck on. So when they put the ruck on, I was like, I know exactly where I want this ruck to be riding, and it did not interfere with the shooting at all for me. Now, it did interfere with the speed, for sure, because I think it was about 80 pounds, roughly.
Yeah.
The other thing that was tough on this stage, because being in Squad 1 with all the other YouTubers and stuff, is we got little tasks we had to do. And as you see in here, maybe I didn't follow what the task had, but I had real good reason, as you'll see. Okay, since we've completed stage 3, we move on to the Field of Glory to do our stage 3 breacher activities, which was Finnish airborne burpees. Well, I'd never heard of them before and didn't know what made Finnish ones different. One of the things I liked about it when I saw the demo, I was like, oh, well, American burpees, you jump when you come back off the ground. So I was like, oh, this is great, no jumping required. Yeah, this is a whole lot harder than it looks, especially wearing a combat rig. This is before on the actual shooting stage my rig was working for me. Here it kind of worked against me because that butt pack right there in the small of the back was kind of a pivot point. So every time I did the rearward portion, it was kind of like I was on a seesaw, a teeter-totter. But anyways, I powered through this, did as many as I could. It's amazing how just getting up and down can wear you out. Old age sucks.
You got another one in you, lass.
One more. Go. Don't stop. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time.
Good job.
This is why I'm a Marine. Not a paratrooper.
So we hope you're finding this coverage of Finnish Brutality 2023 helpful and informative. We got stage 4 coming tomorrow. Please comment, like, and subscribe.